Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. How are you all today? Let's see who joined us here. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late today. Susie's here. Kimberly is here. Hello, hello. Kimberly's home alone tonight. Nice, but still working. Susie is our neighbor. Thank you for joining us. If you're out there, please say hi. Um, you've got me tonight again. Andrew is resting right now. He was up all night working on some things. So he's still resting. We're going to let him rest. He needs it. He deserves it. And so you've got me for the next few hours that we're here. Kim is here. Thank you for joining us, Kim. It's always a busy day. I always feel like I come here saying it's been a busy day. It's been a busy day. It is always a busy day here. But I got up a little bit earlier today and I was out in the yard a little bit. It was a nice sunny day, so I wanted to get a little bit of sun in because we haven't been getting a lot of that. Diana said, I'm here, but we'll have to pop in and out. Well, thank you for being here, Diana. Yeah, I went out in the backyard and took some pictures of the flowers out there and spent some time with the boys, the cats. They come out with me in the backyard and walk around. And so we did a little bit of that today. And then I did some errands in town, ran to the post office, did a few things downtown, picked up some prescriptions, things like that. And then I went up to the cottage, and I've been up at the cottage most of the day. With my general TV in the background. We had a TV in our bedroom and we never used it, hardly ever. Danette is here. Hello, Danette. We hardly ever use the TV in the bedroom. So I took it to the cottage because I spend more time there than I do awake in the bedroom. And I'm one of those people that likes to have people around me while I'm working, or like at least it feels like other people are there. So usually I've been listening to music at the cottage a lot, but it doesn't give that same effect, right? There's not that kind of movement, or I don't know what it is. But sometimes the music is good, but most of the time I like to feel like there are other people around me. So I usually put on an old TV show that I know pretty well, kind of like old friends hanging out, right? Sometimes it's the Golden Girls, sometimes it's Maude, and just kind of shows like that. Sometimes, oh geez, Dick Van Dyke comes on sometimes. There's a lot of different ones. I can't think of his name. Bob Newhart or Newhart. I love the Newhart series. That's generally a harder one to find, where they own the inn. But I usually put stuff like that on that I don't have to really pay too much attention to, because I'm not there to watch it. I'm just there to have it feel like there are people around. And so I did that today, and I did a lot of working and packing, a lot of packing today, packing and processing of orders, combining orders. A lot of you were very fortunate. A lot of you order both in our online store and these lives. And we do try to combine as much as we can. I can't always guarantee it, but we try to do that when we can to try to save a little bit of money on shipping and stuff for y'all. It's not always the easiest thing to be able to do, but we do our best, what we can do. Danette says, I understand just the background noise is needed. Yeah, and it's not just the noise, because like the music doesn't always do it for me, right? And I don't know why, but it's the image, it's the feeling that people could be there. I don't really like people around me too much when I'm working, which is the weird thing. Like, I just want people to be there working, but not talking to me, not trying to interrupt what I'm doing, but working on their own projects. So when Andrew and I can go to the cottage together, it's kind of nice because I do my thing and he does his thing, unless we're working on a joint project. But we're both there, and it makes me feel like I'm not alone. When I'm alone, I don't get as much done, and because I don't, it's harder for me to want to be there. It's harder for me to want to be in a place where there's no one else. I'm not that social of a person, but for whatever reason, it makes the time feel like it's passing so slowly, right? But when I feel like there are other people around, or I'm watching TV shows like that, it definitely helps. And I think that comes from my family. My mom used to, I think, kind of be the same way. My grandmother, my grandmother always had the radio on or the TV on. Um, Mostly the radio for her, but it was always on all the time. I remember growing up and going to her house to visit, and it was always the radio in the kitchen was always on. Um, and so it's just kind of a thing. It's just kind of a thing. Susan's here. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining us. Anna is here. Hello, Anna. Thank you for joining us. Susan, I do prefer to listen to music or the radio. I was the kid who listened to my little transistor radio at night. Yes, I'm that weird. That's not weird. Um, yeah, it's much easier for me, whatever reason. I music sometimes is good. Music in the car is pretty good, but I also find myself listening to a lot of podcasts and even YouTube videos just with the sound in the car, and um, it helps me to keep my anxiety away a little bit. I think when I have just music on, I can get into my own thoughts sometimes. So if it's an anxious day, it's good for me to have storylines, I guess, that I can follow. So that's kind of what I think more of what it's about. Even though I'm not paying attention mostly to the storylines so much, it is they're there, and it's like it keeps me from spiraling sometimes. Anne says, hello, lurking one-handed with a cat on my lap. Cute. I wish I could have a cat on my lap, but they would go wild in here. Not a good thing. I have a Lulu on my lap, says Anna. Cute. Let's see here. She won't sit in my lap, but if I'm laying down, she's curled up asleep on me. That's cute. So this is AM radio was the thing when I was a kid. KMOX ruled the airwaves in this town when I was young, and my mom listened to it constantly. I was thinking about that too. What I used to listen to as a kid. Like I love music, considered like the Great American Songbook. And I love music from the 30s and 40s. And I just thought, as I got older, as I became a teenager, I kind of really got into that and started listening to like Irving Berlin and Fred Astaire and others from around that time period. And I just kind of assumed that it was just something I liked, or something that was in me for some reason. And then recently, I had digitized some of my grandmother's VHS tapes, and I was watching home movies at the store one day, and I kind of knew that my grandmother listened to this kind of music, but a lot of times there was also a country music station on her radio, kind of the old country, like the old Dolly Parton and stuff like that. And I never realized how much when I was a very young kid. There was a radio station from Johnstown that its entire, pretty much its entire catalog was stuff from the Great American Songbook, and I totally forgot that was something that was playing in the background of my childhood for a long time, because I spent a lot of time there, and I think, like subconsciously, before I even realized it, that kind of seeped in. And it's no wonder I like that kind of music and music from that generation, because it always was playing in the background. Like I said, my grandmother always had the radio playing, and that station at that time, I think that station is still there, but it's changed owners many times, and they don't play the same thing anymore. But it used to be the Great American Songbook, and I knew, like I said, I knew that she played some of that music, but I didn't realize that was a station dedicated to that, and it was probably playing that all the time. And as I listened to these home videos that she made, it's there in the background, and I can hear all the music that I still love, and really didn't realize that that's kind of where it came from. Hello, Donna. Thank you for joining us. Today says, my kind wonders when I work alone too much. Oh, my mind wonders when I work alone too much. Don't have the TV or anything. I do the same thing as you, William. Get on my own thoughts. Not a good thing because the anxiety is overwhelming. It is. It is. Hello, Mary Jane. Thanks for joining us today. Glad you could be here. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Hi, hi, hi. Susan says KMOX was a superstation because it carried hundreds of miles at night, and there were a lot of Cardinal fans in this part of the Midwest, Arkansas, Kentucky. That changed when we got cable. Nice. Donna said, I've always loved music and the music from the 30s into the 50s. I love that. My dad listened to WVOK out of Birmingham, which was old school country, and I love that kind of music too. Yeah, my grandmother, that grandmother used to listen to some of the country, but my other grandmother really, in her kitchen, she had the music playing, the radio playing pretty often. And she really listened to that kind of country. Like she was into like the Grand Ole Opry, like way back. And we always had like Patsy Cline and Dolly Parton and that kind of music playing. She loved yodeling too, yodeling music. My grandfather on that side played bluegrass with his friends. So they'd get together and he'd have friends over and they just all kind of have a bluegrass jam session sometimes. So that was the kind of music I grew up on that side, on my dad's side of the family. And then the Great American Songbook and some of that country on my mom's side. So that was pretty much my childhood. And then my mom, I listened to a lot of my mom and dad's cassette tapes and 8-tracks growing up, but and records. But the cassette tapes that my mom had in the car were like Michael Bolton, Bob Seger, and Cher. That was kind of also the music of my childhood. And so my dad would have kind of that kind, I don't even know what you would consider it now. I don't know if there's an actual, I don't know, it would just be mixed in with a lot of other things now, but like kind of 80s soft rock / rock, not really hard rock, would be playing in his garage pretty often. So 70s, 80s, probably 60s, 70s, and 80s kind of rock, soft rock, would be playing in his garage a lot. So that was just kind of the stuff that was in the air growing up. And it's still all the stuff that I still listen to. And I find myself going back to quite often whenever I'm trying to find something to listen to. When I can't figure out what I want to listen to, I usually default to something in some of those genres, which actually gives me a lot to choose from. Susan says KXOX was the king of pop here in the 60s and early 70s, also a superstation. Nice. Yeah, so that's me. So that's what I did today is I watched TV. I didn't watch TV. I had the TV on and I packed and shipped. I got some big boxes going out to some people, which I'm really happy about. Trying to do more catch up. I'll be packing. I do a lot of packing on the weekends at the store. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I do a lot of the wrapping where I wrap everything in the tissue paper that we pretty much wrap everything in when you get something from us for the most part. I do that and then I combine everyone's orders while I'm there, usually if I have time. And then throughout the week, I process those orders. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on a lot of things right now. Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Thank you for joining. Other Susie, thank you for joining us. We got Susie, and Susan. Yeah, so that's, I wish I had more exciting things to report about my day, but that was my day. That was my day today. How was your day? How was your day? How have you been out there? It's pretty nice. You can still see it's pretty nice out. Ooh, those my 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 windows are dirty. I need to clean the outside of my windows. Dominion is here. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Angela says, do we have Zoom meeting tomorrow? I'm giving myself spring break. We have Soft Shell Crab Festival this weekend. Color me excited. Nice. Yes, there is a Zoom meeting. I sent the email out about it earlier in the week. I also put up the banners today in the Allegory Gallery Facebook page, on our YouTube community tab, and also in the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group. So the link to either the blog, which has the link, or the link is up for you to easily click on pretty much anywhere. I posted the link also in the Allegory Gallery events that we've created for every single one of these. So if you're looking at the dates and wondering what dates they are, go to the Allegory Gallery page, go to the events tab, and you will see every single date this year that we have a creative make-along. Let's see, Vicky is here. Hello, Vicky. Thank you for joining in today. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Tomorrow the make-along starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, the same time as our lives. So we do not have a live sale tomorrow. We only have the creative make-along. And so we hope you'll join us 7:30 until 9:30 tomorrow night. Get a project. If you don't have a project, grab some stuff to make a project. If you don't want to do a project, you can decide not to. You can just hang out with us, and it's okay too. But if you'd like to make something with us, grab a project and sign on to Zoom at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll let you in, and we'll hang out, and we'll make stuff. It's pretty cool, and we chat, and you actually get to meet people in person, kind of in person, right? Virtually in person, that you may only see avatars here, or you only get to text back and forth in comments and stuff. So it's really good. I like it. I like it a lot. We've met some people and seen their faces that normally we never have a chance to do that. So that's really good. Let's see here. Oh, Vicky, sorry to hear that. Your mom's been in the hospital. Hopefully she's doing okay. S1, S2, and Gallup from a cardiology viewpoint. Don't know what that means. Sorry, Susie. Don't know what that means. Susan said, mostly did chores and grocery shopped. Had some Subway veggie sandwiches for lunch. Ooh, that sounds good. I love their Veggie Delight. I love their Veggie Delight. Because you can make it whatever you want, right? It's different for everyone. Mary Jane says, I'll be looking for the pink necklace tomorrow. I have been looking for it. It may have sold, because I have been looking for it as I go through putting things away and restocking things, and I have not seen it yet. So it may have sold. We'll have to look around some more in here to see if Andrew kept it somewhere, because it hasn't been in any of my bags, my return bags yet. Donna says, I had a get together this afternoon with some food friends, and I had a blast. We had a potato bar, salads, and strawberry pie, and my sister's homemade peanut butter pie. Ooh, sounds good. Susan did some straightening in the workspace. I have a little more to do, plus set up my projects. Awesome. Can't wait to hang out with you. Mary Jane says, prayers for your mom, Vicki. And Susan also says, sorry to hear about your mom, Vicki. Yeah, it's hard when loved ones are having issues. I certainly know that. So tomorrow is the Creative Make-Along. The D-Stash event that we did ended last night. So if you didn't get your claims in by then and you see something you like, please get your claims in quickly. This one is going to go away quickly, because since we don't have the Creative Make-Along or since we have the Creative Make-Along on Friday, and we don't have a live sale on Friday, I may run another D-Stash this weekend to help keep things leveraged out. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out. That will probably be Saturday and Sunday night. After I get home from work, we will probably have a short D-Stash event each night. Or maybe I'll do some D-Stashing from the store, because I've got some stuff up there that that has never gotten put back out, and maybe I'll try D-Stashing from up at the store while I'm up there. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Who knows what I'll find up there too. It could be fun. So do stay tuned to that if you'd like to. Let's see here. Yeah. So yeah. Well, let's do it today where we get kind of right into it. How about that? Because I keep saying we're going to do that, and then we keep taking an hour and a half to chit chat at the beginning, which is what we normally do. But I keep saying we're going to flip flop it a little bit once in a while and do more of the chit chatting at the end instead of at the beginning. So let's get started on the event. Let me see if I've used. I need to find a lot number. I should have done that before. HG. We've not used HG. So we will use HG today. Doesn't mean anything. How good? Maybe how good. How good are these deals going to be? Pretty good. HG. And that, I thought that was the marker that was good. HG1. No, this is the marker that is good. Okay. So, because I'm on my own, this is going to be a little bit cumbersome because I wasn't sure if Andrew was going to be awake and thought I might have help, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work because I got some things that that I wanted to reconfigure a little bit, but we'll make it work. All right. Let me flip this camera around, and we will get to it here. I always feel like I'm rushing around because I'm usually rushing when I get here because I'm running up from the cottage to get here to start the live. But I hope it doesn't feel like that to you all, or at least too much. Because I like hanging out. And it feels weird to start the live already, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Vicky says, thank you, everyone. I'm looking forward to seeing some pretty beads, right? Yes. She got out yesterday, but she's 92. That's difficult. And I know sometimes you just want to not think about things after a while. I definitely get that too. So that's why I don't like to focus on things too much like that. Because I know sometimes people just want to, let it out and forget about it for a little bit because it's difficult and it's a lot on your brain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Okay, so this is a lot of 20 of these little metal beads. These are really nice. We had these at $3 for a pack because they're actually really nice, but I'm going to cut them in half. I don't know how many we have. I have a little bag of them. So I will just keep selling them until they sell out, or until nobody wants any more. Maybe nobody will want them anyway. Who knows? But I feel like my ears need to pop. So if I sound like I'm like yawning, or I'm also congested with allergies, so it's fun. It's a fun day. I don't feel like I sound like myself today, but that's why my ears feel like they need to pop because I feel like I'm so congested in my own nasal cavity and ears, that whole thing. These are these cool metal beads. They are kind of a different kind of look than what you normally see. They're beveled on the edge, which is really pretty. And they're this beautiful color. They're about 6 millimeters by about 4 millimeters. Donna says, my allergies are so bad this year. It hasn't, I feel like there's not even much going on yet here. And my allergies are like, I'm not having thank goodness I'm not having the sneezing and the coughing and the runny nose kind of allergies. I'm having it's there, but it's all like compressed in there kind of allergies, which is ridiculous. I don't know why we have to do this, right? And maybe I'm not having the sneezy running because I do take like 3 allergy pills a day. So maybe that's why I'm so blocked up. But yeah, I feel like I don't sound like myself. I feel like I can hear myself and I'm nasally as can be. I can't help it. And I keep trying to, I can barely breathe out of my own nose. I can't breathe out of my nose on a good day. I don't know. I've never had an ear, nose, and throat specialist or anything look, but I don't know if I have a deviated septum or something because I can barely breathe out of my nose on a good day. And when it's like this, I'm like totally like mouth breathing, which is ridiculous, but it is my life. So much sinus pressure, so my face is sore, says Kimberly. Yeah, I think that's a lot of what Andrew is dealing with. I get the pressure. I don't get the soreness, but I do get the congested pressure kind of feeling sometimes. Susan says allergy season is awful this year. Donna says the tree pollen in my area of Alabama has been horrible this year, and I can only take Flonase for my allergies. I have tried Flonase, I think, and it did work a little bit, but I think that's one you shoot up your nose, right? Those weird me out. I have a hard time. I don't end up taking them because they weird me out. Anyway, these are these metal beads. You get 20 of them, and we've sold a few of them, so thank you so much. They're only $1.50 a pack, and I'll keep selling them until they are gone. So feel free to grab some of those. They're really nice. They're a different look, and they're nice thick. You don't even have to use them as a spacer necessarily. They could be their own bead. I just call them metal spacers, but they could definitely stand as their own metal bead, right? You don't always have to think of them as spacers. And these would go brilliantly with like carved bone, that kind of color that has a little bit of that brown in it. Carved horn, even some shell. That would be really pretty with some shell. So there we go. Anyway, put those back in the bag. Okay. Now, so far, I said that this was a vintage glass show, right? And I have I have another one here. The first 2 items don't have anything to do with vintage glass, but I promise I do have lots of vintage glass, or at least a good bit of vintage glass. This one, Vicky says, are the beads light or heavy for their size? I'm going to say light. Altogether, the whole bag of them is a little bit heavy, but I feel like when I picked up a single one, and I was going to mention that, when I picked up a single one, it felt super light for its size. Kimberly says, I was thinking as a floater on some leather. Absolutely. They're nice large hole too, which is one thing I didn't actually measure. Let me measure that for you. Let's go back one moment. Because if you're putting it on leather, the hole size is important. And the hole size on these is about 2.8, 2.7, 2.8 millimeters. So at least 2.5 millimeter hole size on those. Like I said, they feel light for their size to me. Did I leave a couple on the mat? I did. Thank you. It's weird. You all can see it on the camera. I have a hard time seeing that on my screen. Excuse me. But my screen is also about a third of the screen. Okay. HG2. Thank you, Kimberly. I think I got them all now, right? And then I can't see through my phone, of course. So a lot of stuff hides. now, as I pull this out, the name goes blank on me. One moment. This is, I'll show you. This is an artisan clay bead by a woman we used to know. Her stuff is so fantastic. Mary Lou Tompkins. Mary Lou Tompkins. It started coming to me as I started typing. Her name is Mary Lou, or was Mary Lou Tompkins. She has now passed. But she was this wonderful person. I think there is a link. Let's see if it still works. Yes, there is a link to a video done of her on our website. If you look at her products, we have some of her bigger products on our website. And these are some of her smaller ones. We have a lot of faces on our website of hers. And they are fantastic, and they are more money than this. We are giving you excellent, like this is almost nothing. Like this piece should be probably $25 because her stuff is magical. But because these don't resemble much, we give them really good deals, and hopefully somebody will take these and make them into something awesome. But this is Mary Lou Tompkins. You can find her face beads on our website if you search. They generally run in the $62 range, somewhere in there. And I even saved one for myself. I love it. Yeah, they run $49 to $65 generally, I'm going to say. $49 to $65. And these are some of her, I have a few of these tonight, and they're just some of her just beads that she's made. And the thing with them is they have multiple holes. There's a hole going this way in this one. There's a hole going through this way. There's holes going through this way. So you can string these in so many different ways and make it your own. Whether you want it strung this way, whether you want it to be a drop, you can string it that way. You know, there's a lot of things you can do with this. This one has sold. Thank you so much. And this is 23 millimeters by about 13 and a half for that person who grabbed it. Thank you. We appreciate that. We've sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of HG1. Thank you so much. I still believe I have a few more of HG1 if anybody wants them. I probably have around 10 of them at least. So we probably sold about half of them right now. Let's see what's next comes out of my bag. Okay. I'm dropping these all over the floor. You can probably hear them. This is old antique glass. These are going to be $2 a bead. I don't know how many of them are here. I didn't get a chance to count them. But it is old. It is considered Vaseline glass, is what I have written on here from the last time we did it. They don't glow. They're not Vaseline glass that glow under a black light. It's a red glass, not the green, yellow. But these are an antique red Vaseline glass bead. And they're $2 a bead. Let's see. I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, looks like 41. Linda says they're beautiful, aren't they? They're really pretty, really old. I wish Andrew were here to give me the dates, but I know they're antique for sure. 15.5 millimeters by about 10.8. This is not something you see just anywhere. It's definitely not something you see just anywhere. These are pretty special. Kimberly says she got ocean vibes from that other bead. Yes, right? I think so. I get it. So this is HG3. They're $2 each. Vaseline glass, red Vaseline glass. Old antique glass beads. And we've got 41 of them available. $2 each. Figured we'd sell them individually in case people want to grab them. They're super cool. I love the shape. And that's some antique glass for you. Okay. Now, just as I said, my nose isn't running. My nose started running. Let me put out the next thing for you, and then I'm going to go and get myself a tissue. Because I don't have any in here right at the moment. Let's see here. HG. Yeah. HG4. HG4. These, let's see here. We just sold 5 of the HG3s. Thank you so much. Anybody would like to get in on those? Get in on those. Those are something Andrew pulled out of his collection at one point and may go back into his collection because he likes that really old antique glass. This is $6. So this is a glass strand. They're glass leaves. And I'm going to go get a tissue and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Thank you so much for your patience. Hey, some of my nose cleared up a little bit. I can feel it. I can feel my face clearing up a little. That's HG4, and that has sold. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We've sold some more HG3s. Thank you so much. I've still got some of those. I still got a lot of those available if anybody's interested in grabbing some of that antique red Vaseline glass. Let's see here. I know some of y'all like the table cut beads, and here we have table cut coin beads. These were 14. I can't go lower than 14 on those, unfortunately. I mean, that's a good price anyway, but that's those are pretty recent acquisitions for us, and they were 14. But they have this beautiful gold kind of luster on the outside. It's kind of antique gold or bronzy, almost brassy kind of luster. But they're a table cut check glass coin, and these coins are 12 millimeter coins. And these are 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches. Hello, Melinda. Hello, by the way. I think I read your comment and didn't say hello. Hello. Or maybe I didn't. I read your comment in my head. Maybe that's what I did. But thank you for being here. It's good to see you all here. Table cut coins in check glass with that kind of antique gold, kind of brassy. My grandparents used to have these brass lamps in their living room, and whenever I see this kind of color, it throws me right back to those lamps. They were touch lamps, so you would touch them and they would turn on. They were like 3-way touch lamps, and that color reminds me right of those lamps. We've sold. Somebody claimed HG6, but we don't have an HG6 yet. So check your sent mail, and maybe you meant HG5. Please resend, unless you want whatever I'm going to surprise you with next. But I think 2 of these have sold. I think. Kim says, I had those lamps, right? The one had kind of this flared triangle thing that came out that you touched on, and it was like probably glass that you touched, and it changed the dimness of the light. The other one was just, I think it had a knob that you turned. Melinda says, I still have those lamps. I kind of wish I had my grandparents' lamps. I really like them. I did get some from them, but it was after they had upgraded. Well, they changed their living room suite, and I don't know whatever happened to those touch lamps. But when my grandmother passed, I did get the end tables and the lamps that were on them, but they were not those original touch lamps, which I loved. But it definitely reminds me of them. Let's see here. Okay, HG5. So Dominion says, my grandparents had them too. I wonder what happened to them. They're difficult to find. I tried. Yeah, I don't know. So we sold 1 or 2 of these. I don't know. Somebody sent an HG6. I don't know if you were trying for HG4, which was $6. That has already sold. Or if you wanted one of these are $14 each. HG5. So check your sent mail to see if you sent me something that says HG6, because we're not there yet. Now I'll move into HG6. And I'm going to delete that email because I don't want to mistakenly sell the wrong thing to y'all. This is a large vintage check glass bead strand. It is $12. I've only got 1 of them, but these are large, chunky check glass beads. And these are approximately 16.5 millimeters by about 10. 16.5 millimeters by about 10. There are 8 beads on this strand, which makes it approximately a 3.5 inch strand. And they're just super cool, big check glass beads. If you like big beads, we don't often see a lot of big check glass. I keep saying that, but then we keep getting more vintage large check glass in stock. But really, it isn't something you see a lot of anymore these days. A lot of the check glass is smaller now. So these vintage beads are kind of cool. HG6, $12 for the strand. 1 strand only available. HG7. Ooh, for those of you who like pink, and those of you who like Givre, I learned what that is now, right? Thanks to all of you. Pink and clear Givre check glass, faceted melon, not faceted melons, smooth melons, melon beads. These are $6 a strand. There are 3 strands available. Beautiful. And they've got the gold detailing. Let me get this light up here. But these are beautiful. Pink and clear glass melon beads with the gold details. $6 a strand only. So pretty. Perfect for this spring summer jewelry making. We've just sold 2 of the 3 of these. Thank you so much. There is 1 left. We just sold the other 1. Somebody tried to claim 2. You'll get 1 of them. Thank you so much. Those are sold out. Okay, let's see. Oh, I covered Instagram. I didn't mean to do that. Anybody out there? Anybody out there on Instagram? Say hi if you're out there. HG8. What's next? Oh. Ooh, these are nice. Trying to think what I can do on these. We had these at 32. You know what? What the heck? I'm going to take them down to 24. $24. This is a smoky quartz chunky monkey strand. Beautiful smoky quartz. Large chunks. Tumbled nuggets. Sounds better than chunks, right? Tumbled nuggets of smoky quartz. And this is a 16-inch strand. And just to measure one of these are approximately 17 millimeters by about 23. 17 by 23. Very large. Nice quality. You know, not super nice because that price isn't for that, but very nice quality. Smoky quartz, tumbled nugget beads, $24. They look really good. Put them with some silver, some gold. I think they would be really nice. HG8 has just sold. Thank you so much. Somebody knows a deal. Somebody knows a deal. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. HG8. HG9. Ready for some more check glass. Wow, how many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. 6 of these beautiful check glass white leaves. I'm going to do them. They're at $4 each. I'm going to keep that price, $4 each. 6 of them available. These white with the gold inlay leaves in check glass. This is 8 millimeters by approximately 10. 8 by 10 millimeters. And some of this glass you can see is a little bit opalescent. There's some opalescence to the glass as well. Not a lot, but some of these are more opaque than others. Some of the more kind of transparent ones are a little bit more opalescent-y, which is really pretty. So 6 of those available, $4 each only. We've sold 1 of them so far, so there's 5 of them still available at $4. Thank you so much. Oh, and the strands on those are about 6.5-inch strands. You're getting 5, 10, 15, 16 beads approximately on the strand. 16 beads on the strand. For $4, good deal. Good deal. HG9. HG10. What's next in my bag of goodies? I love pulling things for you all because it gives me a chance to look at things that I haven't seen in a long time. And things I forgot about even. Ooh, these are nice. Look at these. These little vintage glass bauble drops. I'm gonna do. Let's do. They really should be 8 to 12. I'm gonna do them. We're gonna say they were 8. I'm gonna bring them down to 6 for you all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. I've got 6 of them available. 6 of them available at $6. They're so awesome. They've got that magnification quality. They magnify things behind them. They're just such a cool drop bead. Like, I feel like if we had other colors behind them, see how they take on the colors? It's so nice. Vintage glass. I'm not 100% sure if they're vintage check. My guess is they are, because that's mainly what we've got. But they're a vintage glass drop. And let's see, we've sold 1 of these so far. Thank you so much. This is about 7.5 millimeters by, I'm going to say, oh, let's see here. I got to move it out of the camera way to get a measurement. One moment, by about 11. 7.5 by 11 millimeter drops. Just super cool. HG10, $6 only. 6 of them available. Well, 5 of them now available. Thank you. And if anybody has any questions, as always, let me know. And I keep forgetting because I don't see any new names. When I don't see new names, I don't think to let you all know how to claim these things. So I'm giving you a piece of paper you're seeing that has a lot number. Today it's HG numbers. This next one coming up will be HG11. You take that number down, you put it in the subject line of an email, and you can address that email to, I forgot that banner too, info@allegorygallery.com. And then send it to us. And please send a new email each time. Don't reply to an old email to send another one. And if you do send us an email and you get it, you are saying you will definitely take it. That's the way it works. Okay. This is vintage glass. Let's do it this way. We've got, these are so cool. This is going to be $10, and there are 2 lots available. $10 a lot for 5 beads. And this is the shape on these. Super cool. Vintage Czech or vintage German. I'm not 100% sure. They were made by the same people back then. They just moved around because they had to, unfortunately. But you're going to get 5 beads. That's $2 a bead, which is a really good price for these. And HG11. These are probably, about 15 by, at their widest, about 16.5 if you go diagonal like that. HG11, we've sold 1 of those so far, $10 a lot. 2 lots available. 2 lots available. I was into red today, if you can't tell. A lot of this stuff is red today. Let's see here. How many do I have? Okay, I have 3 lots of these available. HG12. We're going to do these for $10 also. There are 3 lots of these available. These are very similar to the last ones, but they are shifted. It's like someone took the last lots and went and shifted them a little bit. So 2 of the sides are longer than the other 2, whereas the other ones were more of a kind of cube shaped. So these are also $2 a bead, and you get 5 of them in a lot for $10. And on these ones, you are looking at, let's see, lengthwise the bead is about 16.2. At the widest, they're about 17.8. HG12. And so just let me show you just a comparison. They're also bigger. So there they are. They really should be about $2.50 a bead. I think that's what we used to run them at, but I brought them down to the same price for you. So you can see this one has a little bit longer, whereas these ones are more square. They're also bigger. So there you go, 2 different sizes. Should be a little bit more money, but that's okay. If anybody wants them, I'll do them for the same price as the smaller ones tonight. HG12, $10 a lot, 3 lots available. Okay, HG13. This is $10 as well. Boy, $10, $10. Only 1 strand of this available. These usually sell out pretty quickly. We've gotten 1 strand. These are angels, check glass angels in this kind of very light blue glass with the gold accents. And you're getting 6 angels on the strand. These are the praying angels, and they are about 14 millimeters, we'll say, by about 22.5. There's 1 strand of those available, $10 for the strand, HG13. HG13, and that one has sold. I knew that was going to sell. Usually when we get angels, we try and get more than that, but Andrew said it's, oh, there's Andrew. Hello, Andrew. You're awake. He said that's opalescent glass. So it is opalescent underneath. Vicky says, I thought they were weeping angels. I know, right? They could be. We could pretend. Weeping angels, for those of us who like the Doctor Who series, right? It's one of the, I think it's, I love the first Weeping. They went a little, I think, a little wild with the Weeping Angels after a while because I think it was so popular. But the first Weeping Angels, I loved that one. Loved it. Okay. Wow, we went wild on these, didn't we? How many do I have of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, if you got the white glass leaves, you might want the red glass leaves. They're only $4 a strand, and there are 10 strands available. $4 a strand, 10 strands available, 5, 10, 15. Again, 16 leaves on the strand. These are in the red and gold, and these are 8 millimeter by about 10, 8 by 10 millimeter, red and gold glass leaves. Beautiful beads, check glass, 10 strands available, HG14. Where are you, Andrew? Come help. Where are you? HG15. Oh no, that bag had a hole in it. All right. These, I believe, are horn. I think. There's a question on these. Oh, his tummy is upset. There's a question on these on the material, even from our supplier. But I'm pretty sure these are horn because they're like, are they wood? Are they acrylic? But I think because of the patterning, it's almost like a fossilized or a petrified. Like it's just they're really really lovely, large beads. So I'm going to go with horn, and these are $2 a bead. And let me pick some up off the floor that fell out of the bag. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 of these, it looks like, right now. Unless I find more. Oh, wait. I did find more. I have 15 of them. 15 of them in total, it looks like, so far. I may find more. But they're super cool and super pretty. Andrew says they're resin stabilized horn. I don't know how you do that, but I like the look. Look at that. So Andrew's saying resin stabilized horn. HG15. They just have such a beautiful light quality to them. The way the light reflects off of them. And they're nice big beads. They are approximately about 23 by 25 and a half. There's our penny. And there they are, $2 each for the resin stabilized horn, is what Andrew calls them. And I'm going to actually write that on here so that I don't forget for next time if we don't sell out. Resin stabilized horn. Whoa! Kicking the stand. I always kick the stand lately. All right. They are small hole though. They're large beads, but they have a smallish hole. They're not large hole beads for as big as they are. All right, HG15. Andrew said there's a lot of techniques that have been lost over the years. Yeah, they just look so good. No one's buying me this. I'm really surprised. All right, I'll move on. I will keep those. I will make stuff with them because those will go with my other horn and bone, my personal collection of horn and bone, for sure. And African, they go really good with some African beads. Okay, HG16. You never know what people are going to like, right? I thought those were like some of the coolest things tonight, and then nobody wants any. You just never know. You never know. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's do these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do these. Let's do them at, we'll do them at $4 for a lot of 7 of them. There are 2 lots available. And these are a beautiful, like kind of like that confetti acrylic. It's got the shimmery. I'm not sure what they use, if they use, it looks, I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if it's a plastic in there or if it's a mica. It looks like mica that's been in resin. Andrew said, from my understanding, I think the horns were wet and made flexible, then wrapped around to make thicker masses. Then with heat, pressure, and a resin, they infused layers and permeated the beads. Then they laid it down. At least that's my guess on those other ones. And these, whoa, where are you? Get back here. Andrew said, oh, it's shell in there, he says. So it's shell beads that are resin coated, or shell, flakes of shell. It looks, they look like mica the way they, these have thin shells. They have these thin shells they used for lampshades. Ah, so there you go. Lampshade shells, 15 millimeters by 22.5. $4 for the lot of 7 of those. And there are 2 lots available. HG16. Oh, I'm getting very crowded on my desk. There are the beads I was looking for earlier today. I'm just going to move over there. Okay. HG17. Andrew says, who remembers them? Y'all remember them? Okay, next up is this pair of vintage glass beads. We're going to do these. This is $4 for the pair. There's only 1 pair available. Vintage glass in yellow. I hit it with the black light. These do not shine under a black light. They or glow under a black light. Andrew says, I used to think they look like potato chips, the forbidden potato chips, right? So HG17, these kind of dimpled. I love this cut. They're corner drilled squares, but the squares have all been like kind of chiseled away or pinched away on the sides. I don't know what that is called, but that's what it looks like to me. These are 17.3 by about 17.1, and thickness is about 11.3. HG17, 1 lot available, 1 pair for $4. Okay, HG18. What else is in my bag of goodies? Capiz lampshades, Andrew says. All right, here is another one of these Mary Lou Tompkins beads, this time a little bit larger at $8. And this one is a very large hole there, if you wanted to string it from. There's also a hole that goes through up here. And it says, lost my YouTube for a bit. I was wondering what was going on. Maybe other people did that too. Did anyone else lose their YouTube? Because our numbers tanked at one point. I was like, what is happening? And now they're coming back up. So let me know if more people also lost their YouTube. I can do a quick review of some things that maybe you missed. So this is one of those Mary Lou Tompkins beads, HG18, $8. One of these available. And oops, this is 38 by approximately 17. 38 by 17. Andrew said she passed away and I got these from her daughter. Yeah, we do have, I was saying we have some of her face beads on the website. So if you look up Mary Lou Tompkins on our website, you'll see some of her incredible artisan made face beads. Susan says, I have to refresh my YouTube several times during a live. That's so strange. That's so strange. Well, it doesn't seem no one else lost theirs today. It was okay. I don't have to review. There's just some cool stuff that I'm surprised no one has grabbed any of. But maybe that's just me being surprised because I like it. And not everyone likes what I like. It's okay. Let's see here. Let's sell these ones by the piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 14 of these. They're $1.50 each. These are hand-carved shell beads. Andrew says, mine glitched for a second. Says, I was supposed to go to Mary Lou's studio to clear things out, but then the pandemic happened. Andrew says, probably because I jumped on. Well, we keep losing people. The numbers are fluctuating pretty wildly. I was up to like 26 and now I've dropped to 14. Something is going on because that's not, and then they go back up, which is super weird. These are hand-carved shell beads. They are drilled. Let me see how they're drilled. I believe they're drilled corner drilled. So drilled top to bottom there. Kimberly says, I'm here. Thank you. I'm glad your connection is staying. I don't know what's happening. HG19, $1.50 each. 14 of these available. We sold one of the HG16. What was that? That was one of the, the shell and resin. And I just sold 4 of these. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, their things are starting to come in. We have sold out on these. Thank you so much. I've been making things into lots, but maybe I should be making things into individual things instead. You all like the individual stuff better? The bead at a time? Because I can do that too if you prefer. HG20. I never know. Sometimes people want to buy in the lots. They just want to buy a number of them. Sometimes you want to buy them individually. Let's try these individually. These are 75. We'll do 75 cents each. There are 10 of them available. That normally would be a $7.50 strand. If you bought all of them, which would be a really good price, this is a vintage, the Givre check glass. That's the size of the strand. If you bought them all, $7.50. Anna said, just switched from Facebook because the gerbil wheel was spinning. Andrew said, if these don't sell, set them aside for me. The hand-carved ones, they sold. If that's what you mean. I don't know when things are coming from anymore. Dale's here, says, good evening, tuning in from work. I'll be listening. Thank you. Andrew says, that's cheap. I know that's cheap. 75 cents each for these. This strand should be like probably a $12 to $14 strand at least. But we'll do them 75 cents, $7.50 strand. Got 10 of them here, 75 cents each. Givre, and this is that odd cut. This odd cut, which I love. Here's what it looks like from the side. And so that should be 14 a strand. So these should be $1.40 a bead. So they should be twice as expensive as they are, pretty much, is what he's saying. 18.5 millimeters. Don't worry about it, Andrew. Don't worry about it. By 12 millimeters. They're from that collection from 1989. Yeah, these are classified antique at this point. Very old vintage antique. And there are 10 of them available. HG20. HG20. They were vintage then, so they're probably antique now, says Andrew. Yeah, they were vintage back in '89. So, like the old beads, get the old beads here today. Halfway through the show today, HG21. We're going to go to 40 tonight. I think. We'll see if I've got enough stuff. If I've pulled enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Melons in red and gold. These are only $3 a strand, and there are 6 strands available. HG21. Red and gold melons. There are 5, 10, 15, 16 melons on a strand. HG21. These are $3 a strand, and they are 7.5 millimeter melons. 6 strands available. We've sold one of those so far. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Oh, just sold 2 more of those, so half of them are gone. Thank you so much. There are 3 of those still available. That's a really good price, $3. $3. What are we doing here? Even prices, the old prices. Just sold 2 more of those. 2, 4, 5. So there's 1 strand of those available if anybody wants it. 1 strand of HG21 still available. Thanks for grabbing them, y'all. Let's see. Ooh, look at this old antique check. Let's see. It's marked 16. Let's bring it down to 12. I'll bring it down to 12 for y'all. This is an antique check glass strand in this golden color. So pretty. These are that shape. 6-side hexagons. 6-sided. Beautiful golden kind of ambery color. They are varied. I would say they are varied in size because they're old. These are antique check. Varied in size. They're not perfect. Everything was more hands-on, right? 8.5, or I'm sorry, 5. Okay. Let's get the size. Come on. About 6 millimeters by about 13. 6 by 13 millimeter. $12 for the strand. HG22. 1 strand available. Really pretty. Light up on here. Isn't that pretty? I'm a little bit bewitched by it. And by a little, I mean a lot. I love that color. I'm into that golden color right now. HG, you can tell, HG23. If I like something, I spend a lot of time looking at it. Even though I shouldn't. Let me see, how long is this strand? That's a 10-inch strand. Strand. Let's do. This is a pretty green dyed quartz, 10-inch strand. Let's do $12 on it. Let's do $12 on that. Really pretty dyed green quartz, 10-inch strand of these faceted rondelles. They're really, really pretty. And they're about 8 millimeters by about 3.5. We'll say 8 by 3.5, HG23. And that one has sold. Thank you so much. HG24. These are bone. They're $2 each. I've got 2 of them available. They're bone that's resin together, so you can see the layers to make these kind of cubey beads. And they're just a super cool shape for bone. And so if you use bone or horn, like I'm going to do it. I'm going to get back to the horn that we had that nobody wanted. But I think that could be such a cool focal if you use those together in a necklace. Like put those together and make that into a focal. And then you've got that little bit of reflection in there from that resin and horn together. And you just got a cool piece, and put some other maybe African beads out here. I think that'd be really cool. Andrew says, reminds me of sandwiches with the crust cut off, right? Okay, yeah, it kind of does. Kind of does. So there you go. I would put them together like that. I would use that. Like maybe I will actually, if they don't sell, make a necklace with that. HG24. I haven't made a big necklace lately. I used to make big necklaces. But I haven't done anything like that. Maybe for the creative make-along. We'll see. Maybe I'll make something big. $2 each. 2 of those available. Bone beads. How are we doing these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Huh. Not 100% going to show you these. Anyway, let's show you. We're going to do these at 50 cents a bead. And I've got about 37 of them if I counted right. They are either vintage plastic or painted wood. And I can't tell. I'm trying to look at the holes. What they are. They're super duper light. They're super duper light. And they're a super cool shape. Oh, Andrew said they're bamboo. So that makes sense then. Because the holes look like wood to me. But they sound like holes look like wood, but they sound like acrylic, like plastic. But I think it's the painted surface. So these are bamboo. Hello, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to actually write that on here for next time for me. HG25, we have 37 of them. They are 50 cents a bead. They're made in the Philippines, says Andrew. So they are about 20 millimeters by about 9.5. We have just sold 10 of them, so we're down to 27 of these. 27 of these. Super duper light. Make earrings all day. You could chain these together in a chain or stack these in stacks like this and make earrings, and they're super duper light. We just sold another 6 of them, so there's 21 of them still available. Thank you so much. They'd be really cool, I think, stacked like that, or maybe with little bead spacers in between. Make them into earrings. Super light, almost no weight at all. $0.50 a bead. I say 21 still left. Somewhere around 21 of them still left. Thank you so much for grabbing them if you have already. I doubt you'll find those again somewhere else, right? Angela says, what item are you on? Angela, I'm on HG25. I just finished 25. Just sold another 6 of those. Thank you so much. So we've sold 22 of the 37. So what, 15 of them available? 15 still left. Moving on to HG26. I've got bells. I got my bells on today. These are Thai brass bells. Thai brass bells. We sell them for $3 each. I've got 11 of them here today. We sell these in the store. People love them. I'll take these right back to the store if they don't sell. But Thai brass bells. And they make such a nice sound. HG26, $3 each. This, I believe, is our medium size, what we consider our medium size. They're about 18.5 millimeters by about 15.5. Some of them have little faces on. Yeah, they've got like an eyes, what looks to be eyes and nose, and then the big mouth, which is the open part of the bell. If you look at them closely, they're super kind of cute. So you got 2 eyes and the nose and then big mouth. HG26, $3 a bell. Thai brass bells. A bag of them here. And I'll make sure there's a little clanger in each one because sometimes they go missing. We've sold 2 of these so far. We have 9 of them still available for y'all. What doesn't sell will go back to the store floor because I think I abducted them from there. We've just sold 5 total. So 6 of them still available. Thank you so much. Andrew says, I think they're supposed to be tigers. Roar. Roar, says the tiger. All right. HG27. Here's another Mary Lou Tompkins artisan bead. $5. Here's this little one. Glazed in this beautiful light blue. Has a hole through that way, a hole through that way. So depending on how you want to use it, you can string it across the top, you can string it down through the center. Andrew said they're supposed to keep the tigers away. They will wear masks on the back of their heads so they don't get pounced on. That makes sense. That makes sense. Something you don't think about around here, but very important there. 12.2 millimeters by 16 millimeters on this little bead. Mary Lou Tompkins. I love her stuff. It's so organic. And sometimes you'll see faces like that hidden in the beads too. 27 has just sold. Thank you so much. HG28. These are, come on, these kind of filigree rings. They're $1.75 each only. And there's 2 of them available. These filigree rings. And so they're open kind of in the back. So if you wanted to put beads in there, you probably could open them a little bit, put beads to decorate the inside of this, but you can also put other materials through there, and you can seed bead through them and things. So I think these are just cool in general. These are 32.5 millimeter rings, which should make them, what, about 1.25 inches? Yeah, about 1.25 inches. HG28, $1.75 each. These golden rings. You can do your seed beading projects on that. I could see that being really pretty with the Radical Joy kit and doing some fun stuff with that too. So HG28, 2 of them available, $1.75 each. And this is great to stitch on. And says Mary Lou was a cool lady. Yeah, if you get a chance, look at Mary Lou Tompkins on our website and copy the link to YouTube and watch a little bit about her and her story. HG29. Nice. This is $7. I've only got 1 of these bells available. This is an Afghan bell. And they're metal, you can see they're kind of the carved metal, cutaway metal shaped beads or bells. And this is from Afghanistan. It's hard when I'm holding it to make the sound. But $7. These are the large size. And I love that rough metal look on these. These are some of my favorite bells we've ever had. 22.5 millimeters by 32.5 millimeters. HG29. 1 of them available. I might have more in the store if you're interested, but I think I'm nearly sold out, if not completely sold out on these in the store. HG29. 1 of those available. HG30. Let's see what these are. What price can I do on these? These are really cool. They were $14. I will take them down to $10 a strand. We have 3 strands available of these. $10 a strand. These vintage Pentagon check glass beads. This is a long strand. That's why they're more expensive. 12-inch strand. Really, they should have probably started more than 14 at this point in time. But there you go. Vintage check. Andrew says, I'm going to run up to the cottage before it gets too late. There are leftovers in the fridge. Okay, thank you. Did you eat already? HG30. HG30. We've sold 1 of these so far at $10 a strand. We've got 2 of them left. Once these are gone, we'll never see these again. These are really cool red Pentagon beads. And the heat's on at the cottage too, Andrew, so it should be nice and warm for you. It was warm today. 8.5 millimeters by 12. And we just sold another strand of these. So if you're looking for one, we're down to 1 left. If you're on the edge, you might want to pull that trigger because, as Anna said, the color is gorgeous. Yes, it is. It's a red, but it's almost, I don't know. It's kind of like, it's not opalescent, but it's kind of got that milky quality in the center. It's when it turns in certain ways, but it's clearer in others. It's just such a pretty color and a pretty look. So 1 strand still left. Vintage check glass, $10 a strand, 1 available. All right. Let's try these ones per bead. These are the antique check glass, or maybe German, I don't know. We ran these at $2.50 each once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 10 of them left. I'm going to keep them at $2.50. I can't do much better than that. But look at this wild kind of shape. These are, I love the old check glass because you see shapes that you're never going to see again. Like, they're not going to make that shape again, most likely. That was like a one and done thing. And now you got these wonky shaped, beautiful, odd things. I love the odd things, if you don't know that about me. I like the things that are different. I like things you're not going to see everywhere else. If you make these into earrings, unless you got more AG Bead Fam at your show, you're going to be the only one with these made into earrings. I guarantee it. There's not going to be that shape. No one else is going to have that. And so those are HG31. We'll try them at $2.50 a bead, and there are 10 of those beads available. Are y'all enjoying the show tonight? I hope so. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying the show and liking the things we've got, having fun looking at pretties. Okay. Let's see. Let's do this. I'm going to give you a really good price, I think, anyway. $6 on this whole bag of this beautiful orange vintage plastic / lucite acrylic. One of those things. $6 for the whole bag. You can see it all here. You've got some of these shapes. You've got some rounded tubes. You've got some rounds. You've got some of these. You've got a lot of these little discs. This is well worth it. I underpriced myself by far, because if I strand this up, a strand about this size is usually $4. So you got these odd, these are the most fun pieces here, these little odd kind of shapes there. And so the whole thing, $6, HG32. Let's see here. We've just sold 3 of the 31s. Thank you so much. 3 of the 31s. And there we go, HG32. $6 for the whole bag of these vintage plastic mixed beads in orange. Bright orange. I love bright orange. I just took my penny too. Bright orange has been one of my favorite colors. I used to have a fleece that was bright orange like that, and I wore it all the time. I loved it, and it had a high collar kind of on it. And my one teacher, when I was young, in high school, I was very skinny, and I was lanky and tall, and my neck looked very long. So I wore that fleece, and when I had that fleece on, whatever the way the neckline was, and he would call me long neck or something like that. I forget what he said. He was always joking. He was a nice guy, but it was yeah. That's my recollection of that color, in other words. But I loved that. I never stopped wearing it, even if it made my neck look weirdly long. All right. Anyway, here we go. These are sterling silver charms. Told you we got a little bit of everything tonight. 32 has sold, by the way. Those orange. Thank you. Sterling silver octopus charms. Get that little hair off there. Sterling silver octopus charms. And there are 2 of them available. They're $15.50 each. These are real sterling silver. These were purchased quite a while ago, and we purchased them on sale. So I can guarantee, because this company does things by the weight of the metal and by the metal content. That's why the prices sometimes are odd on these. So we got a really good deal on these at one point, so we're passing them along to you. If we were to buy these, I don't even know if we can still buy these ones, this particular design, but if we could, I can guarantee it's not going to be the same price. It would be higher now. Because I know since then, silver has definitely gone up. I don't know where silver is in the immediate vicinity right now of how things are going in the world, but I know that these were bought at a good time. HG33, they are a nice little charm, good charm size, and they are 13.5 approximately by about 15.2 with the bail. And people are often asking us for actual sterling silver, so this is something. These are sterling. HG33, $15.50. I've got 2 of them left. They'll make a cool pair of sea creature earrings if you were into that, for sure. HG34. Let's do $6. We'll leave this at $6 on this one. HG34. These are these little vintage. I don't know if these are vintage. They're not exactly contemporary. They may be vintage, but they may not be too far back. But these little candy-like, they remind me of candies. So I call them the candy coins. Check glass in this beautiful red with the light blue finish. There are 8 of them on there, and these are about 12.5 millimeter coin, by about 3.5 millimeter. 12.5 by 3.5 millimeter. HG34, $6 for the strand, 1 strand available. And that strand has sold. Thank you so much. Oh boy, I am not doing these each. Let me see, what did we have these at? Times. Let me see how many. Sorry, everybody. How many of these I've got. Here they are. This is what I'm looking at. These little rings. And there's no hole drilled other than the big hole in them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, about 40 of them there. Let's do $6 for the whole thing. That brings them to about 15 cents a ring. HG35, these would be super fun to play with. You could just use some jump rings and ring them together and make a chain if you wanted to. You could seed bead with them, make little seed bead links in between them. But they're just vintage plastic rings. Again, there's no hole drilled through them, like through the ring itself, just the one main hole. So you do some wrapping around there, or jump rings, or like I said, if you seed beaded little panels around them, I think that would be cool for those of you who do that. HG35. HG35. One lot available, $6 for the lot. It's 15 cents a ring. And HG35 has just sold. Thank you so much. I love seeing who buys what, because it just gives me, a feeling for what y'all like and what you don't. What do I got up here? Do I have enough in my bag? Ooh, I did. I picked out just the right number of things. Okay, so these are antique Czech drops, and we sold them by the pair before for $3 a pair, and so I'm going to do the same thing. We've only got 2 of them left. $3 a pair. The antique Czech glass faceted drops in this orangey red. Well, reddy orange. They're mostly orange. A little bit of a red tone. 9 millimeters by about 20. 9 by 20. They're a flatter shape than they are wide. So thickness wise, they're about 4. And so you get a pair of them for $3. $3 a pair. 2 pairs available. HG36. I think they're super cool. You don't see, both of those have sold. Thank you so much. You don't see stuff like that very often. So do y'all like the things, especially some of the newer people out there? I know we've got our AG Bead fam has been with us for a while, but new people out there who are watching, do you like the things we offer? Hope you do. Is there anything you're looking for in specific we can hunt down for you? I'm keeping an eye on trying to find that that Lodolite or Phantom Quartz. I know that was a request. We found some of the sapphires and the topaz. These are really fun. I'm going to do these for $6 for the whole lot. These are super cool. I hope this comes across on videos. It's like an oil spill. Like, it's so pretty. And you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 beads, 10 drops, check glass. It's like a swirly oil spill, which may not sell it really well. I don't know, but I think it's super cool. This is HG37. One lot available. Just look at those. And they are drilled, you can see at the top through. Super nice. And size-wise on these, they are about 12.8, so about 13 by 16. 13 by 16. Like a shiny Picasso finish, says Anna, right? They are. Anna says lots of red beads. I know, I was in a red mood today. I pulled a lot of red stuff today. But I thought, like, this color, these go really well with a red. Red and orangey colors. Maybe, I don't know about orange on those, but the red will look nice with those. HG37. So far, nobody's grabbed those. Huh. You know, I told you, you never know. HG38. Danielle is here. So good evening or night, William. I just came in to let you know that I sent an email a couple of days ago. Did you get it? I will have to look. It may have gotten buried, or I have to make sure it didn't go to spam. So I'll check, Daniela. Thank you for letting me know. Because it may have gone to spam or gotten buried. That happens sometimes. Usually on Fridays or Saturdays when I'm at the store, I catch up and I go through my email real good if I missed anything throughout the week. So I will check. Now these may be too holiday-ish for now. I don't know. But we have these microfaceted crystal strands, and they are not expensive. Hold on. These are $5 a strand only. These microfaceted, they go from green to a light green to a red. So these are definitely, I feel like, you know, I love red and green any time of the year, but these are definitely kind of holiday inspired. I saw the red and I pulled them and then I was like, oh, these are like holiday time, but maybe you'll like them anyway. Or hey, you know, it's never too early to stock up. These are 14-inch strands, microfaceted crystal, and they're 2mm crystals. Nice little crystals. Nice little crystals. HG38. $5 a strand. 3 strands available. $2mm faceted rondelle crystal beads. All right, HG38. I know, we don't want to think about that time of year. We're just coming out of that time of year. HG39. These are $1 each, and I've got 4 of them available. HG39. More large red check glass. This time faceted. Oh, we sold one of the 38s. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. The large red, this is a faceted check glass bead this time instead of a wonky shape. It's a faceted, kind of faceted round. They're $1 each, which really they should be more, but hey, that's what they were last time. We'll keep that price. Give you good price. 16.1 millimeters by 16. Mary Jane says, I was going to ask, did you get the jackalope bag? I was able to get the bags. They finally came. They just came the other day. So I will be pressing you a jackalope tote bag very soon. I think you're going to like it a lot. I hope that these bags that I got are the same as the original batches that I was getting. All of these have sold. Thank you so much. I haven't even taken them out to inspect them yet, but as long as everything's the same, you're going to love it, because I made myself some of these. Actually, I didn't. I had a misprint a few times when I was learning how to do it, and so I carry around the misprint bags. Like, I pressed one backwards one time because I forgot to flip the image and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, and they are nice bags. They are really nice. So I hope you're going to like that a lot. And this is the last one tonight, a weird thing to end on. I usually like to end on a bigger note than this, but hey, HG40. These were 30 cents each, and I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I've got 29 of them, 30 cents a bead. These are these discs, but they're smushed in the sense, like somebody took them and smushed the center, like chocolate smushed in the center. I do that to my M&Ms. I don't know if you do that. I have this habit of Skittles and M&Ms. I take them and I smush them down in the center before I eat them. Not always, but it's something I do when I'm just like eating them slowly and not like pounding them down. But that's what this reminds me of. And they have this beautiful finish, gorgeous finish. They're drilled through the center. So because they sit the way they do, if you put a round in between them, it won't be completely round and sticking out. These will kind of bead cap it almost a little bit, if you can see that. So blooper bag, Susanna. Yep. Mary Jane says, thank you so much. So excited. Thank you. Button beads. Yeah, they are button beads, right? They're really pretty. I love it. I love this color. If you have some Unikite, these would go really prettily with Unikite, I think. They're kind of that pinky, gray, beigey color, but they have like a metallic luster on them, like almost a gold metallic luster that really shines. So they're 30 cents each. HG40, there are 29 of them available if anybody's interested in those. The size on these is approximately 14 millimeters by about 4.5. 14 by 4.5. So there you go. That's the selling show tonight. Wow, my numbers just dropped to 5 people watching. I don't believe I just sold all of these. Thank you so much. Somebody grabbed them all. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My numbers dropped to 5 people watching. I don't believe that's true. I hope people just didn't bounce as soon as I got to 40. Something's been wonky with the numbers lately tonight. So thank you all for hanging out there. If you've had to refresh or do things, some people have had to refresh their feeds or move to different platforms. We really do appreciate it. Let me flip the camera around here. And let me flip the camera. Hello, everyone. Hello again. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you've been having a good week. Yeah, it's been nice. It's been a good week here. We've gotten a lot done. Andrew's just now going up to the cottage to do some more stuff. Let's see here. Danielle says, I do have the YouTube bell to let me know you're online, but it doesn't work at all. That's sad. Mine tells me that we're going online. I always get told when Andrew's going online. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, maybe it'll work. If you have notifications on your app, depending if you have your app on or not, it's all that kind of stuff. Oh, it means recovering from a procedure and dozing off. Well, hopefully you're recovering well. Let's see. Kimberly says, did 37 sell? 37 did not. What was 37? 37 was the $6. No, the oil spill ones. No, they are still available. 37 is still available. All right, let's see here. Don't forget to smash the like button, says Kimberly. That's right. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the love, send us all the good vibes, hit the share. I was going to sit and chat for a little bit, but I don't know if this is getting out there to everyone or not, or if numbers are, I mean, some of you have been out here for a while, so you're hanging out there. I don't know why some people are and some aren't, but I don't know. But I'm going to let y'all go. I just want to remind everybody that we are going to have the Creative Make-Along tomorrow night. So 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll get on Zoom and we will hang out together and make stuff. It's a lot of fun. Hope to see you there. Susan says, good night all. Hope to see everyone at tomorrow's Make-Along. Good. I'm glad you'll be able to make it. Yeah, it's on Zoom. The link is on our Facebook page. I put banners up on the Facebook page and the Facebook Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group. It's also on the blog on our website. So if you go to our website and go to the tab or the menu, if you're on a phone, drop the menu down. There'll be a blog link there. It's across the top if you're on a desktop or a laptop. There's also an event on Facebook, so you can get to the event that way and take a look in there. And you can go to our Facebook community tab, and I put up a banner, a little a photo, a picture of the logo for the Creative Make-Along, and you can click the link there to go to the blog to get the link to go to Zoom. So the Zoom link is now in the blog. It is a permanent Zoom link for every time. It's going to be the same link. So if you just bookmark our blog, you'll be able to get there and get that link anytime before we start a Creative Make-Along, which they always happen on the next to last Friday of the month. It's not every 4 weeks. It doesn't work out that way because some weeks have an extra weekend in there. So it is the next to last Friday of the month, whatever that happens to be. So put them in your calendar so you know. 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, everybody. Danielle says, good night, everyone. Hope you get well, Dominion, and be patient. Recoveries are hard. They are. Mary Jane said, blessed night, everyone. Thank you, Mary Jane. And yeah, we'll see y'all hopefully tomorrow. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far tonight, like I said, I don't know what's going on with the numbers are jumping up and down a lot. So we thank you for hanging out with us, and thank you for all your support all week long, all month long, all year long. Some of you have been with us all business long. You've been with us since the beginning of Allegory Gallery, and we do appreciate it a lot, and we're super grateful for all of you. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you on the Zoom, live on the Zoom, in person on the Zoom tomorrow. Bye, everybody.